I just wanted to be somebody's squire, sir. In a dark prison cell, with rain hammering the stones, through tears. Egg says these words to Sir Duncan the Tall, and everything changes, because this isn't a prince making excuses. This isn't nobility playing at poverty. This isn't some rich boy's adventure story. This is a child breaking under the weight of a life he never wanted. A boy desperate to escape a family that terrifies him. A prince who would trade everything, crown, name, future, just to be chosen by someone who values honor over blood. This scene in A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, The Hedge Knight, Episode 4, is devastating because it reveals the truth about Egg that no one, not even Dunk, fully understood. He wasn't lying to make a fool of anyone. He was lying to survive. To find something real in a world of monsters wearing crowns. And when the facade finally cracks, when Egg can't hold it together anymore, what pours out is pure, unfiltered pain. The prison, where truth lives. The scene opens with rain. Dunk is chained in a cell. A rat squeaks in the darkness. Thunder rumbles. The door unlocks, and Egg enters. Dunk's first words are harsh. Leave the food and go. He's not playing games. He's angry, hurt. He thinks he's been made a fool, and he wants nothing to do with the boy who deceived him. But Egg doesn't leave. He stays, and he starts with what he's been told to say. My uncle says I must beg your forgiveness for deceiving you. Notice that. My uncle says, not I'm sorry, not even I want to apologize, but my uncle says I must. This is still political, still performative, still a prince being told what to do by powerful relatives. And Dunk immediately cuts through it. Your uncle? Prince Baelor, the heir to the Iron Throne. The contempt in his voice is clear. You're not just some boy. You're royalty, connected to the most powerful people in Westeros. And I'm the stupid hedge knight who didn't realize. The lie and the truth behind it. Egg tries to explain. I never meant to lie. And Dunk's response is brutal. Yeah, but you did. About everything, starting with your name. Then the mockery. I've not heard of a Prince Egg, short for Aegon. Of course, after the Conqueror? How many Aegons have been king? 4. 4 Aegons. This exchange is devastating. Dunk is forcing Egg to acknowledge the weight of his name. 4 kings named Aegon, the Conqueror himself. This isn't just a boy with a nickname. This is royalty. Legacy. History. And then Dunk asks the question that breaks everything open. So why'd you do it? Was it some jape? Make a fool of the stupid hedge knight? This is what Dunk believes. That he was entertainment. That some bored prince thought it would be fun to pretend to be common, to see how the other half lives, to have a laugh at the expense of a naive hedge knight. And Egg's response reveals everything. No, I was supposed to squire for Diron. He's my older brother. He's a shit knight and a drunk. And he didn't want to enter the lists. He only meant for us to hide in that inn until the tourney was over. This is the first truth. Egg wasn't escaping to adventure. He was escaping from Daeron, his older brother, a shit knight, a drunk, someone who would waste Egg's potential, teach him nothing, drag him down into mediocrity and alcoholism. This was Egg's future. Serving a drunk brother who didn't even want to fight in tourneys, hiding in inns, learning nothing, becoming nothing. The shaved head and the layers of lies, Dunk keeps pushing. You shaved your head. And Egg's response, it was Daeron who shaved it. This detail matters. Daeron shaved Egg's head, to disguise him, to hide the fact that he's a Targaryen prince. But then Dunk cuts deeper. Is it Daeron that told me you were a stable boy? Silence. Because no, that was Egg's lie, his choice. And Egg tries. I didn't. What? I didn't think I was doing anything wrong. This is the cry of a child. Not a prince making excuses, but a boy who genuinely didn't see the harm. And Dunk's response is harsh but true. Of course you did. That's why you lied. Egg is crying now. The tears are starting. And Dunk says, dry your eyes. Not comforting. Not gentle. Just stop crying. Be a man. Deal with what you've done. The real reason, disappointment and desperation, Egg tries to explain through his tears. I was just so disappointed when I couldn't go to the tourney, And Dunk cuts him off with savage sarcasm. Oh, we can't have the little prince being disappointed now, can we? This is cruel. This is Dunk lashing out because he's hurt. Because he thought Egg was his friend, his squire, and now he's learning it was all based on a lie. But it's also dismissive, like Egg's feelings don't matter, like being disappointed is a trivial, privileged complaint. And that's when Egg says the line that changes everything. I just wanted to be somebody's squire, sir. 7 words. Simple, direct, devastating. Not a prince, not royalty, not the future king, just somebody's squire. And Dunk's response shows he still doesn't fully understand. You'd have served a donkey were it squireless. You're so desperate to be a squire, you would have taken anyone. There's nothing special about me. You just wanted to escape, but that's not true. And later, we'll see why. But for now, Egg just says, I'm sorry, sir. Truly am. And then, something breaks in Dunk. His anger softens just slightly. It's just a bit of bad luck we found each other, isn't it? Bad luck. Not intentional, not malicious, just unfortunate. The wrong boy found the wrong knight at the wrong time. Dunk asks, what will they do with me, Egg? And Egg tells him, his uncle, Prince Baelor, wants to see him. Dunk's response shows his character. I'm done now. Then, I've already kicked one prince in the mouth. Don't mean to keep another one waiting. No fear, no groveling, just acceptance. If he's going to die, he'll face it with dignity. The scene with Prince Baelor is crucial, because it shows us what Egg is running from, and toward. Baelor is polite, measured. He has Egg pour wine for Dunk, and then Dunk says something that reveals why Egg chose him. The boy won't spill you, Grace. He's a good boy, good squire, and he meant no harm. I know that now. Dunk defends Egg, to a prince. To the heir to the Iron Throne. Even though Egg lied to him, even though Dunk is facing execution because of choices Egg made, he still defends him, because Dunk is honorable, genuinely, instinctively honorable. And then Baelor says something that cuts to the heart of the problem. Aegon should have come to me when he saw what his brother was doing to those puppeteers. Instead, he ran to you, Sir Duncan. That was no kindness. Think about this. Baelor is saying, Egg should have come to family, to royalty, to the proper authorities, not to some hedge knight. But that's exactly the problem. Egg doesn't trust his family, doesn't trust the system. He trusts Dunk. And then Egg says something that shocks everyone. I wish Sir Duncan had killed him. Silence. Baelor's response is measured but firm. Aerion is your brother, and the Septons say we must love our brothers. But Egg has just admitted, in front of his uncle, in front of Dunk, in this prison cell, that he wanted his own brother dead. This isn't rhetoric, this isn't hyperbole. This is genuine, desperate wish. Think about what that means. Think about how much pain Aerion must have caused for a child to wish for his own brother's death. We saw what Aerion did to the puppeteers, burning their dragon, hurting the girl, terrorizing them for fun. But that's just what he does to strangers. Imagine what he's done to his own brothers. Imagine growing up with that, living with that fear every day. And when Dunk, this hedge knight, this nobody, actually stood up to Aerion, actually hit him, actually made him bleed, Egg saw hope, saw someone who might actually stop the monster, saw someone who might free him from the brother who has tortured him for years. And he wished, prayed, that Dunk would finish it, would kill Aerion, would end the nightmare. Later in the episode, we see why Egg chose Dunk specifically. When Dunk needs champions for his trial of 7, when he needs knights to stand with him against impossible odds, he makes a speech. He talks about Sir Arlan of Pennytree, his old master, the man who taught him to be a knight. He was a good man, and he taught me how to be a knight, not just sword and lance but honor. A knight defends the innocent. That's all I did. This is what Egg saw in Dunk. This is why he ran to him when Aerion was hurting the puppeteers, because Dunk actually believes in what knights are supposed to be. Not political operators, not enforcers for the powerful, but defenders of the innocent. Egg's family? They're all about power, about maintaining their position, about the Targaryen legacy and the Iron Throne. Daeron is a drunk who won't even fight in tourneys. Aerion is a sadistic monster who hurts people for entertainment. Even Baelor, who seems decent, is more concerned with politics than justice. He acknowledges that Dunk might have been right to defend the puppeteers, but still says it wasn't wise. But Dunk doesn't care about wise, he cares about right. When he saw someone being hurt, he stopped it, even though it meant attacking a prince, even though it meant certain death. The choice. Somebody's squire. I just wanted to be somebody's squire, sir. This line is the heart of everything, because it reveals what Egg actually wants. Not power, not a crown, not glory or legacy or anything his family values. He wants to be chosen, to be valued, to serve someone worthy of service. Being Prince Aegon means his life is predetermined. He has no choice. He was assigned to Darren not because Darren earned him, but because that's what fourth sons do. But being somebody's squire, being Dunk's squire, that was choice. Freedom. The possibility of learning from someone who actually embodied the ideals knights are supposed to represent. And notice, somebody's. Not a great knight's. Not a famous lord's. Just somebody's. Because Dunk isn't nobody. To Egg, Dunk is everything. The first person who showed him genuine kindness without knowing who he was. The first person who demonstrated real honor. The first person who might actually teach him what it means to be good in a family of monsters. The prince who becomes a champion. The episode ends with something remarkable. Dunk needs 7 champions for his trial of 7. He only has 6. He's about to be declared guilty and executed. And then a figure enters the arena. Armored. Anonymous. I will take Sir Duncan's side. It's Prince Maekar, Egg's father. His own son Aerion is on the other side. Aerion demanded this trial. Wants Dunk's head. And Maekar chooses Dunk. Why? Because Dunk is right. Because he defended the innocent. Because he's what a knight is supposed to be. Maekar says it himself. This man protected the innocent, as every true knight must. Let the gods decide if he was right or wrong. This is what Egg needed to see. That his father, despite being harsh, despite being Targaryen, despite all the family politics, still recognizes honor when he sees it. That maybe not all of his family is lost. That maybe there's hope. The future king. Here's what makes this scene even more profound if you know the history. Egg, Prince Aegon, the boy who just wanted to be somebody's squire, will become King Aegon V, Aegon the Unlikely. And he'll be one of the best kings Westeros ever had. Remembered for caring about the common people, for trying to improve their lives, for seeing them as people, not just subjects. Why? Because of Dunk. Because instead of learning from Daeron the drunk, he learned from Duncan the honorable. Instead of being shaped by Aerion's cruelty, he was shaped by Dunk's kindness. That choice to run away, that desperate desire to be somebody's squire, is what makes him fit to be king. Because he learned from the bottom up. He saw how common people live. He understood that honor means defending the weak, not just maintaining power. All of that starts in this prison cell, with rain and tears and the broken confession. I just wanted to be somebody's squire, sir. The final truth. This scene revealed Egg's hidden pain by showing us what he was running from and what he was running toward. He was running from Daeron, a drunk, a coward, a liar who would teach him nothing. He was running from Aerion, a monster who tortures for fun, who makes everyone around him afraid. He was running from a family that enabled cruelty, that valued power over goodness, that let monsters wear crowns. But he was running toward something too, toward Dunk, toward honor, toward someone who actually believed in defending the innocent, toward the possibility of being chosen for who he was, not what he was born to be. Toward a life where his service mattered, where he could learn from someone worthy, where he could become something better than what his family made him. The pain wasn't just fear. It was the pain of knowing that the life he was supposed to live would destroy him, that his own family, the people who should protect and nurture him, were the very things he needed protection from. And the pain of finding something real, this relationship with Dunk, and knowing that the truth might destroy it, that being Prince Aegon might cost him the one thing that actually mattered. In that rain-soaked prison cell, with tears streaming down his face, Egg revealed all of this, not with careful political words, not with princely dignity, but with raw, desperate honesty. I just wanted to be somebody's squire, sir." 7 words that contained a lifetime of pain, of fear, of desperate hope. 7 words that showed Dunk and us that being a prince doesn't mean having everything. Sometimes it means having nothing that actually matters. No real family, no genuine safety, no freedom to choose your own path. Just duty and fear and the weight of a name you never asked for. And in that moment, Dunk understood, not just the facts of what Egg had done, but the why, the desperate need, the hidden pain. The boy who wanted to be somebody's squire found the only knight who could see him as he truly was. Not Prince Aegon Targaryen, 4th son of Maekar, burden of legacy and blood, but Egg. Just Egg. A boy who wanted to learn honor from someone who lived it. A prince who wanted to be chosen because being born to power meant nothing without earning it. And this scene, this breakdown in the darkness in the rain, revealed the truth that changed everything. That sometimes the bravest thing you can do is admit you can't carry what you were born to carry. That sometimes the smartest thing you can do is run toward kindness instead of staying with power. And that sometimes being somebody's squire is worth more than being a prince, because one is chosen and one is just born. And Egg knew which one mattered.